Most people today interact with AI through chatbots. You open a tool like ChatGPT, type a prompt, and the AI generates an answer. That model has been incredibly useful for writing, brainstorming ideas, and researching topics. Most people today interact with AI through chatbots. You open up a tool like ChatGPT, type a prompt, and the AI generates an answer. That model has been incredibly useful for writing, brainstorming, and researching topics. But there is an important limitation. Chatbots still require constant prompting. You ask a question, the AI responds. Then you ask the next question. Every step of the process depends on the user guiding the interaction. If you work in an SME, you have probably heard of the next stage of AI, agentic AI. Instead of just responding to prompts, AI agents can take action, make decisions, and interact with software systems on your behalf. Instead of answering the phone or making sales call, why not ask AI to do it for you? Until now, agents have been good, but not great. A new project named OpenClaw is one of the early examples of what the future of AI agents in the workplace will look like. OpenClaw is an open source platform designed to build personal AI agents. Like previous agents, OpenClaw can connect to tools and perform tasks across your digital workplace. OpenClaw is different, however, because it just works. It's designed very cleverly so that it can adapt to any new software or system. The result for the user is that agentic AI no longer requires careful planning and patience. OpenClaw can even update itself based on the user's instructions. The results people are getting with OpenClaw in their own work are really incredible. Early adopters in the industry are saving hours per day and elevating their output tenfold or more. OpenClaw is not perfect, but it marks the beginning of truly reliable personal AI agents. The name OpenClaw reflects two key ideas behind the project. First, the word open. OpenClaw is fully open source, which means that anyone can inspect the code, modify it, and build their own agent systems on top of it. For businesses and developers, this matters because it provides transparency and control over how the AI operates. The second idea is the Claw. This is reference Claude, the AI model owned by Anthropic. The creator of OpenClaw designed it to work with Claude, although it works with any large language model. The original name for OpenClaw was ClaudeBot, and it has also been referred to as Moltbot. The name has changed, but the lobster branding has remained consistent. At a high level, OpenClaw is built around three core components. First, the agent core. This is the reasoning engine. It processes instructions, evaluates available information, and decides what actions to take. Second, the messaging interface. Users interact with the AI through communication platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Discord. This means that the AI can function almost like a colleague inside your messaging environment. You send a request and the agent begins executing tasks. Third, there are skills. Skills give the AI specific capabilities. For example, web browsing, browser automation. Skills act like extensions that allow the AI to connect to real tools and perform useful actions. For many small and medium sized businesses, OpenClaw is too technical and immature as a product. Yes, it's free, but it's wise to avoid using it until you know what you're doing. But it signals a very important shift in how work may be organized in the future. Instead of employees manually moving information, AI agents could coordinate those workflows. For example, imagine a small customer support team. An AI agent could monitor incoming customer emails, update CRM records automatically, draft responses for review, and generate a summary report for the team each day. A human worker would interact only with the chat interface, either typing or sending voice notes. All the heavy work and admin would be handled by AI. For SMEs that often operate with limited staff and resources, this type of automation could significantly reduce administrative workload. The key point is not OpenClaw itself, It is that OpenClaw is the first personal agent that is good enough to be relied upon. With this level of capability, security becomes extremely important. AI agents may have access to your email accounts, messaging platforms, or credit cards. If configured incorrectly, this could expose sensitive data or allow unintended actions. There are also emerging risks such as prompt injection attacks, where malicious instructions attempt to manipulate the AI's behavior. Because of this, tools like OpenClaw should be deployed carefully and in controlled environments. A useful analogy is driving a car. Cars are incredibly useful machines, but they also require training, awareness, and safety rules. Another factor to be wary of with OpenClaw is cost. AI systems rely on large language models that charge per token or word. If OpenClaw is constantly reading emails, browsing websites, and analyzing information, those requests can add up. Running agents locally with open models can reduce these costs. However, local models often require more technical setup and stronger hardware. For businesses experimenting with agents, monitoring usage and setting limits is important. Automation can improve efficiency, but it still needs to be managed responsibly. Even though the technology is still early, practical use cases are already emerging. Here are some examples which can help SMEs. OpenClaw users have a dedicated pipeline for video topic generation, where OpenClaw proposes ideas based on performance metrics, prior content, CRM data, and social input. Downstream steps can include outline drafting, thumbnail concept suggestions, and tracking which ideas move into production. Currently, the user still handles recording and editing, but like all things AI, will soon influence these two. OpenClaw aggregates 10 to 14 plus business data sources, YouTube analytics, newsletter performance, social metrics, and so on, and then produces a structured daily briefing, surfacing signals and opportunities. This replaces manual dashboard grazing with a push based operator report generated by agents. OpenClaw ingests Gmail, Google Calendar, meeting recordings, and other channels to auto build a CRM, filtering out low value messages and surfacing real relationships. Users report going from zero to usable CRM in 30 minutes of natural language configuration. The system then proactively cross references. OpenClaw is the beginning of automating digital work.